just giving a second here. But James, I told you I didn't like this stream, and now you're playing it twice, James. Why are you playing this stream twice? I told you I didn't like it, and now you're playing it twice. Oh God, I have to listen to the stream again. I don't like this intro. Why is he doing this intro? Why? Why is he doing this intro again? I told him I didn't like this intro. This is the intro. Oh, this is the intro. Yeah. We're coming back in. We had 80 people. We're going to get them all back, even though there's only 12. Now there's 19. We're raising them up again. Everybody's here except Underscore, because he's like, oh my God, I hate that intro. I can't believe he's playing it again, and I have to listen to it, and I'm just experiencing so much vitriol. Yeah. I got vitriol. Yeah, who here's got vitriol? Let me hear a thumbs up if you got some vitriol about having to listen to this intro for the very second time. Underscore. He's like, what's your username? He's like, I am Underscore. And I like to find intros that are not good and express my distaste for them in the comments. It is a mission that I have. I am the Underscorian. And I will find your intro. And I will tell you how bad it is. I don't like swans. I don't like the symbolism of black and white, black, and scary, and dragons. I don't like that. And, oh, there's a white, oh, it's interracial. Oh my God, I'm so not into this intro. I don't like this intro at all. He's gonna be a reptilian next. Oh, look, there's a reptilian. He's got a reptilian right now. This cannot be happening to me. Is that the intro? Is it over? Oh God, it's not over. Here comes the monkey. Here's the monkey, look. Boom. Yeah, chicka. Boom, yeah, chicka. Oh no. The intro is back. Okay, 83 are back. Where's Underscore? Surely he knows I'm kidding. Surely. I fucking love this intro. Seriously. I really like this intro. You could maybe argue that of the 3 intros that we have, you could maybe get away with trying to say, this one's not as good as the others. You could try that. But you know what makes the other intros so good? This one. It's this one. This is the intro that makes the other intros good. It happened because of you. These are requirements. Each of us out here finding our way through the intros. But I don't like this intro. Man, I hope the camera works. You think it'll work? It works. Welcome to the show. I didn't like how I cut off that tone was still playing. So if you were to complain about how early I cut that off, I would agree with you. Jazz is pure cheese. Well, I don't know what to make of that. Cheese is like pretty exotic. I guess it depends on what you mean by that. Good day, all. Did you just call Underscore? Yes, I did, Graham. I did. I did. I feel like I really kind of ruined Underscore's day, and he was probably just like, he's probably being nice. I bet you that he's like been reading my book, and he's like, yeah, James is right. He's saying I have to be more authentic. I just really have to express exactly how I feel. And then he's like, oh, there's a James Church Street on, and he comes on, and it's like, oh fuck, that was really expensive. Now how do I like this guy? If you guys see Underscore in the chat, I would call him a new soldier under the fire, and that's admirable. Moldy, solidified mother's milk cheese. That's right, Twilly mist. Twillit mist. Do you guys still hear me? Something just happened. I think it was just my ears. But yeah, he's gone. I ran him off. This happens. It happens all the time. How many of you are here for the drama? You can go ahead and put yes. If you came here because of the drama, then go ahead and put yes in the chat. I'm just curious to know how many of you actually here just for that. And if Underscore was one of them, I'd like to, although he couldn't have been, because it would have taken more than one intro for him to even know he didn't like the intro. You have to burn James's book after reading, then order another. It's true. I am proud to admit that that my book has been officially burned. Pretty happy about that. Took a while before people were starting to burn it, but they did. Shed Your Bear, Name Bear says, yes, he's here for the drama. So was Anna. And so is, yes, it's Twilight Mist. So how did I miss that? Twilight. It is. Yeah, I see it now, Twilight Mist. And I want you to know that I've seen you around and you bring me good cheer. And that was one of the reasons why I wanted to pronounce it. And I've never tried. But now that I see it, I totally get it. And it'll be easy. Thanks for the 4 early bird tickets. Thanks for making the amount of money they were as well. Thank you, Michael Madal. Awesome. Man, that's great to hear. I love that. That's actually part of the drama that we have today. Right there. It's part of the drama. But you've just bought 4 tickets. And if you would not believe how much I had to fight, holy jeez. Man, it is happening right now. It is happening right now, but we will get there. We will get there. First of all, if you are a patron of James True Live, if you are a witness on James True, if you are a member of the airship, if you've been a member of the dojo, if you are already on our volunteer committee for 5-5, I recommend you coming to the meeting tonight, right after this show. The link is on Patreon. I will give you an update on every single thing that's happened since we last met. It has been a lot. A lot has happened since we last met. And if you don't know about the drama truth classes, you could come there, but I think you'll hear some of it here. It'll be fine. And I need you to know that actually it's really not that dramatic. It certainly is some, but it's not that. It used to be a lot more dramatic, but it was actually, this was the older version of me. And I'd like to take a moment to say goodbye. Man, I wish I had my piano hooked up right now. Bling, 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 goodbye. Old James True, doon, doon, doon. They called you names, doon, doon, doon. And you felt it, doon, doon, doon. But now, doon, 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 you're the Lucifer, doon, 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 doon. And you embraced it, doon, doon, doon. And so you're soaring. It's Icarus is rising high. Anyway, we got all kinds of good energy in here. Will the Patreon video meetup after this stream be recorded for patrons who might not be? Of course, Zergoff. It's good to see you. And Zergoff, I'm pretty sure that you're going to be in 5-5. Not to make your information public, but I'm pretty sure that's you. Pretty stoked about that too. Okay. This is Ka. This is Ka. Let me get right there. This is how you hold the pose of Ka. And when you stand in Ka, you receive the Ka from above. The Ka, the eye of Horus, your placenta, is coming in through your Ka. And your divine twin, the one that died when you were born, the one that gave its life for you, the only begotten son, was your placenta. And I know a lot of you are like, whoa, Jesus was the only begotten son. And Jesus and Horus, the reason why those two are the same is because they're the same. Your placenta is Jesus. It is. It is. Ask Twilight. That dude can spell his name in the most weirdest fucking ways possible. And once you go down that cornholio, you start to see things. You start to understand things like you've never understood before. Moloch says, Andrew Perkins. Did he say gift of ball? Did that guy online, did he say gift of ball? Well, I suppose it's just the evilest thing I ever heard. It was kind of funny drama to read, James. Hat fault, James, for not taking the bait. Thank you, Raina. Yeah, it's been, I would say it's been difficult, but now I'm kind of used to this. Guys, today, within 3 minutes, I got an email telling me that I was the devil's scourge, that I was plotting to destroy everyone's life and to rip off every single person that's ever transacted anything in the world, that I was secretly trying to hoard and eat that and cannibalize and all these things. And as that was coming through, and I felt that electricity in my chest, this other email came through saying, I don't know if you're in a place to hear this, but dude, you saved my life. And blah, 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 blah. So it's like, I am literally in stereo. You know how you multitask, right? And you're looking at two things, because I love to correspond with people that want to correspond, good or bad. It's healthy. And so as I'm looking at both these channels, I'm realizing, wow, James, neither one of these are true. Neither one. James, you saved my life. James, you're the most evil, fraudulent demon that's ever existed. Like that kind of stuff. It was really bad. James, you say, neither of these are me. They're not. I'm the same dude I've always been. I'm the dude that's like, hey, are you dudes the other dudes who doing it? And I have a morality. I've never once taken money from someone and not felt like either I earned it or not wanted to keep it if they felt that I had not earned it. I've given away money I should not have given away because I could not afford it. I am the one that planned a festival 2-3 years ago. And when the landowner backed out, I gave everyone a refund. If I ever could have done anything to try and steal anyone's money, it would have been then. When I had a bookkeeper, bless her heart, when we had an issue, when both of us had an issue with the books going out, this is a much better way to look at it. Not once did I consider that maybe I shouldn't have to worry or bear any extra expense in something that was done in my name or said in my name. It's just how I do business. So if any of you are here for the drama, enjoy yourself. And all of the labels, it's been posted now in several boards, things about me from a pretty big name act. And that person has told me in an email that he didn't care. Doesn't really matter. That damage really doesn't mean much. And so that is true. It's actually true. And when I first heard it, I was like, that's not true. This really hurts. And I was like, whoa, James, dude, you saved my life. You're the evilest thing that ever existed. Neither of these are me. Which means I don't get to fucking pick and choose. I don't get to sit there and say, well, I'm going to believe this, and then I'm going to believe this, but only when it serves me, right? So when the good stuff comes in, when what you think is the good stuff comes in, you have to equally not believe that as much as when the bad stuff comes in. You just have to. Now, if you don't have to, but you will just spiral and you will lose it all. You will lose it all. And whether we wanted to admit it or not, there was a portal that required going through. And that portal was a threshold between the old world and the new world. And as I went through this portal, I noticed that there were friends that I care deeply about that will not come through. They won't. And they shouldn't. It's wrong of me to expect them to. Wrong of me to even expect them to, right? So, yeah, well, I'm going to a bear meetup next week. I don't see any owl meetups anywhere, do I? Yeah, I think you should go. Guys, I don't want you to, I see the folly in having a large audience. I think it sucks. I think the larger audience you have, the more you have to lie to keep them afloat. I think that the fact that you have a larger audience technically even proves that you have had to lie to keep that afloat. So I'm glad. When we created Beartaria, when our tribe created Beartaria, we wanted a place for recovering addicts, victimhood addicts to find a place to amend, to find each other, to grow. These are important consciousness steps. They're hermetical steps that are necessary. And I was selfish and stupid to think that I belonged with those other steps. I am a necessary step on this yellow brick road, and I simply thought that I was in another location, and I'm not. I'm just over here, that's all. And I don't think one's better. I don't think one's worse. I think that I get less traffic over here. And my God, the footsteps that make it this far are pristine. They're some of the best footsteps I've ever seen. I've been to the bare footprints. It's a lot of shit in those mixed in. There's definitely some golden nuggets. Absolutely. Of course there is. Many of them are here, right? But I don't think that it's ever really fair for me to even assume that someone could hold the kind of posture that I'm bringing for you to listen to. That's all. And again, I don't think it's better or worse. I think if you're functioning at 26 hertz, you're going to look for a 26 hertz group to function with you. And if we start to rate which number is higher or which number is better, I don't think we're going to do anything. I think we should look more about pressure. Which number holds more pressure? Which number requires more skill to authenticate with yourself? This is really, I think, what it comes down to. And so the constant burning that you're seeing is part of the process. This is part of the process. It's why that word Lucifer strangely fits like in a really weird way. It's really no different than witch. You might as well call me a witch. And because I'm no longer a frickin' pussy about it, I like it. Call me that. Let's do it. Last week it occurred to me that I had at least 3 witches practicing pretty strong plasma magic onto me either at night or during the day. And why would I not want that to happen? Do you realize how beautiful witches are? They're like sovereign chicks, man. They're like wandering around just like, I will fucking find a root or an herb to planetize how I feel right now. They will invoke some of the most deep bass in their magic. Why would we not want these charms in our field? Why would I not want to utilize the muse? This is a muse. Do you understand that hate is a muse? I bet you most of you don't. And I only say that because I just don't think you've experienced it yet. And I think that the moment you do, you instantly think you're wrong, and so you back away from the light. You back away from this posture. You try it on, and you're like, holy shit, this burns too much. And it does. It does. I did not get here because I could bequeath more burn than you. I know it looks that way, but you know how I got here? I got here, and I was like, ow! And then I got here, and I was like, ow! And I got here, I was like, ow! And I just did it over and over and over again. And after a while, you start to do it where you start to just caramelize it. And you're just like, oh, wait, what are they saying about me? And then you have to kind of go through and you're like, okay, let's just see. What are they saying? And you get to try it on, right? Here's Eddie Rochelle, 33 minutes ago. Unsubscribing, pound crow, right? Here's another one. Do you want me to add you to my law group that has 14,000 people so that you can get some assistance? I'm just saying I don't want people talking shit about you. And if I was to add you to the law group, well, they would have to talk shit about you, right? It's a Schrodinger's douchebag. These things happen. And what is Schrodinger's? This when someone's being a douchebag, but they're waiting for you to actually prove it before, right? It's either in the box or out of the box. It's that kind of a thing. These kinds of things are not a result of you failing. They're a result of you leveling up. James York, brilliant guy, told me this a few days ago. Literally fucking put me in tears. Dude just like aimed his fucking bullet, just went pow, and just fucking knocked me on my ass about it. The trial by fire is, guess what? It's a trial by, this is going to sound weird, by fire. It's literally like in the name, I know. And when you experience strife, when you experience this kind of stuff, the universe is asking you to level up. It's saying, do you want to level up? Now, here's how you don't level up. You victimize yourself over it. You say, oh my God, I'm this evil devil creature. Oh fuck, I gotta unevil devil creature myself so I will meet these demands. A second is you realize that someone just told you that they posted your name as being an evil person to literally 14,000 people. 14,000. 14,000 people. Literally. Right there. And you are now in your chest and you're like, holy fuck. Wow. So libel, slander is just bequeathed to 14,000 people when I'm like desperately trying to keep 167. And that would be enough to intimidate. That would be enough. Most of the cowards would respond to that and be like, oh my God, we got to fucking do that. But it's already happened to me. It's already happened. And when I was told I'm going to tell Owen Benjamin and he's going to talk shit about you, I'm like, but he already does that. Doesn't really do anything anymore. There was a time last summer when I was hurt by things like Owen Benjamin where I was like, oh, that bothers me. But those times are gone. You can only caramelize that so much. You could only burn a witch so many times where the witch is just like, you guys, this is really boring. Can we get some like jet fuel in here? Because my steel beams, they're just not doing it. And you start to notice you're different. And when you're different, the same kind of crew is not going to be able to hang with you. They're looking for something different. There's a lot of cannibalism in a lot of groups. We've talked about this. Most of the crowds that I've come from is really a group based on ridicule. I'm part of that ridicule now, apparently, in one of them, where it's like, oh, we will pick someone to ridicule, and then all of us will feel conglomerated because we're ridiculing someone else. This is a very, very efficient form of energy. I don't even blame it. It's one of the reasons why I don't want a lot of traffic. I'd love to succeed. I'd love to, I'll take that back. I'd love to succeed even more. I'd love to have a even further reach when it comes to the projects that I invoke with my fellow brethren, right? That'd be great. But I can't do it at the integrity of what's happening. I just can't. So, if you, hey Mandy, I'm well. Thank you. If that's the same Mandy, it is good to see you. Man, we used to fight like crazy, you and me. Sit there right back and you'd be like, James, you have no idea what you're saying. I'd be like, well, fuck you, man. If that's not you, man, I'm sorry. I'm totally reading this into someone else. It's probably not you. And now she's like, oh my God, I just really started something. So yeah. Okay, Amanda's saying LOL. I really don't want to know if that's her. I don't think it is. I don't think it is her. Sorry. Sorry about that. Wait, it is. Good. Oh, I nailed it. All right. And you've been gone a while, right, Amanda? Am I correct? Let me know if that's right. That you've actually been gone. And I'm not trying to say you've been gone because of any kind of strife. I'm just saying, you haven't been as active on the boards is all I'm trying to say. Okay. Yeah, okay, it is her. Sorry, guys. I'm having a totally private conversation while you guys are with me. Okay, so let me tell you what happened. Since August 24th of 2022, me and Rose were planning a speaker series. One of the speakers was Crow. And in fact, it was Crow being the speaker that actually kicked off this whole idea that, yeah, we should do a whole series. And we've reached Rose is like fucking connected. She knows a lot of dudes. So this was like I was lucky to have her as what I would call a talent director in this endeavor. Certainly she has other hats, but I'm just saying one of the many hats is talent director. And she reached out to Mark Passio, to David Avocado Wolf, to oh come on James. Oh, there's more names. I just can't remember. Not that they aren't important, but it was like really like, holy shit, Rose, that's amazing. It was really, really big names. And we were building a speaker series together. It was really fun. It was really exciting. It was so exciting that we got our volunteers involved. That all the volunteers that were in Dojo, many of them have joined the Prankster volunteer network. There's a link for that, which we should get in both chats. That link is on the Pranksters Aboard page. And if you want to volunteer, okay, I like Avocado too, by the way. I like all these people. I like all these people, and I like Rose. But I need you to know that I don't think Rose would be very happy me telling you that. Rose is very mad right now. I get that, and so is Crow. And actually, I would be mad too if I didn't have a better posture about what happened. So I'm not actually mad. I'm more just like, this is interesting. And James, you were leveling up, so how you deal with this is going to be very indicative of what's going on going forward. All right? So, planning these speaker series, I put down a deposit on a place. We chose Rhode Island because it's near Crow. Because Rose had said, well, Crow typically doesn't like to commit, but if you do it nearby him, the chances are much better he will come. And I shouldn't have actually accepted that, but I did. I was like, okay, we'll do it there. And we found a great spot. I fucking love this spot. It's great. And we were going to do that. And the whole way forward since August, I was asking and kind of pushing and actually urging that I needed a commitment from Crow, because I've done this before. Some of you may know that I built 6 dragons. These are bamboo dragons. They're like, one of them was like, I think like 50 feet long. I mean, it undulates in and out of the ground, so you could argue it doesn't count. But in the imagination, it was 60 feet long, 50 feet long. But these dragons took me, it took me to Costa Rica, took me to Canada, just a bunch of different places where someone would say, James, we'd like for you to come to this festival and build a large land sculpture because of our event. This is something I've just loved doing. If you want to read about it, read my book, Spell of Six Dragons. It's telling about my sort of part of my time in the making of those dragons. And the first dragon I made, we had 2 volunteers. I was given 2 volunteers, and it was great. I really enjoyed it. And then the next dragon, there was like maybe 4 volunteers, and maybe the third dragon was like 1 volunteer or something. But anyway, it kind of undulated. And then the very last dragon, I had 18 volunteers. There were 18. Thank you, Jameson, for the. There were 18 volunteers at the last one, and that one was pretty epic. It breathed fire. It hung from the trees. It was a really cool dragon. This led me to my 7th dragon, and that 7th dragon no one's seen. It's a helix dragon, and that would always come on a piece of land. I can't rent a place and build that dragon. It takes too long. You have to process of celebrating art and whatnot. And I really love this spot because it's the perfect place to launch something like this. So in doing that, I learned a lot about the festival business. I learned about volunteers. I learned about how a festival actually runs, all the different departments you need. I just found it fascinating because to me, it felt like the closest form of sort of tribe, if that makes sense. Like, you find humanity and tribe in this. It's not really the festival atmosphere. It's the volunteer atmosphere that's running the festival. It's like an underground secret network of native Indians that assemble for a few days and have a ceremony. It's probably one of the highest points in my life, like flow state wise, is when you are on the grounds and you're building that dragon, when your food's taken care of, when your catering's done, when the place where you stay is done, and really all you're doing is just making art with people. Like, when that happens, you really find this community. You find this deep tribe kind of thump. It's something I've always wanted. It's part of why I've wanted this campground for so long, is because I've always wanted to sort of reincarnate or incarnate, that kind of vibe. And it fits the dojo model. The dojo model that we've had stemmed from my wilderness camp days. And Rose was actually in one of those wilderness camps. And so we both had this vision of having this wilderness camp that's built from the efforts of the speaker series. That was supposed to be the plan. But it didn't work out. It just didn't work out. It fell apart last week. It fell apart last week because I still hadn't gotten a commitment from Crow. When I say commitment, if I don't have something in writing from him through an email or something, I don't feel safe promising anyone Crow. That would seem like fraud to me. So I didn't say I'd give Crow. We called this speaker series An Evening with Thoth, and it was sponsored by Crow 777 Radio. It was sponsored by that because I've got emails going back from August of us working on this thing together. When Crow saw this finally, he said no. He said, I'm not comfortable with this. He listed 5 reasons why he didn't want to be in this show. I can't say I'm devastated because in September, was saying, this guy hasn't said yes. If you haven't said yes, you're just saying no. And it's not about Crow. I don't actually know the guy. We've certainly had some great discussions online, but that's it. We don't have talks outside. Rose and I talk all the time. We're friends. Like, she calls me when she's in need. Help, I need help. She calls me. We're buds. But Crow, we don't have that. And so I've known since September, October, that if we don't get Crow to sign on, we can never put him on the bill. I wouldn't want to do that. I wouldn't want to put him on the poster. So, when this finally all came to it, Crow was saying no to about 5 different reasons as to why he didn't feel comfortable with this event. And it doesn't matter if I think they were good or bad. It doesn't really matter to me. I don't want a performer to come if they don't want to come. I don't want anyone to be associated with something I do if they don't want to do it. Most of Crow's objections were really more linked to just him wanting oversight over everything. Even the volunteers I had was going to be a problem with Crow because he didn't want to work with an organization or anyone that he hadn't vetted first. And so I was placed on the chopping block in the night of I'm selling our pre-release tickets. And on that chopping block, I'm told either your plan, your design, your crew, your volunteers, either all of them go or Crow goes. And I didn't choose Crow. I couldn't imagine having an event where that would ever work. This wasn't even like Crow was uncomfortable with these things. It was just more about Crow didn't want to commit. And I couldn't set a festival where I had him as a headliner where I was expecting him to commit and have something happen. So I did what anyone else would do. I was like, well, Crow, if you don't want to come to the show, that's fine. I don't want to put you under any commitment. I freaking like you. You help me all the time. I have no beef with you at all. I'm just going to not put you on the headliner. And when I told him that, the room got kind of quiet. It's pretty weird. I think that and I know because Rose has told me, Rose was shocked. She said flabbergasted and shocked that I would have this festival without Crow. She's actually been telling people that I kicked Crow out. And first of all, I'm kind of a badass if we're now in a part where I can kick Crow out of something. That's pretty fucking remarkable. And proof of this portal that I've seen to have walked through, whether we want to admit it or not. And please flame me for that. All the things you want to say. It's fine. I totally get it. But I'm not supposed to be allowed to kick Crow out of anything. I don't have that kind of influence. Crow said to me, it sounds like you're going to do this event yourself. And I said, yes. And he goes, okay, great. And then Crow said, are you going to come back on our show and do your book interview? And I said, I would love that. And I would love that. But the same problem was brewing underneath. And since then, I've been told all these other things have been posted about me, and I don't care. It's fine. And I would be honored if Crow would come. I know that the people that are helping us put this on, we would love to have Crow. We'd love to have Rose. But we cannot rely on them enough to put them on the bill. That's it. So the drama you're hearing is that I said, hey, Crow, can we put you on the poster? And he said no. And I said, okay. That's fine. And apparently Rose has said that I'm trying to commit fraud. Not apparently. I've been told that I'm trying to commit fraud. And I'm not trying to fraud anybody. The poster never said Crow. It said it was sponsored by Crow 777 Radio. And if anyone is confused about that, if you just go to your ticket and you say, I want a refund, I give you a refund. I've given everyone a refund. I have no desire to keep anyone's current that doesn't want it to be with me. I think that's makes you sick. I know many of you are into terrain theory, but I'm into prana theory. And I wouldn't want to keep money like that. So the accusations that I'm trying to steal, that I'm trying to be this, or I'm trying to do that is not really going to do much to me. It's going to destroy the reputation that I have. It's colossally made it harder for me to put on this show. And all that is because of Rose and her reaction. But this is how people act. And when we love someone, we're gonna be susceptible to their fire sometimes. This is what's happening now. If you don't want to go to the festival, don't go. If you think you need to have a loyalty thing where you choose Crow or me, I think you should choose Crow. I don't want anyone on my airship who thinks that the reason why I'm here is because I've shown loyalty by stabbing someone else. I'm not going to post your name on 14,000 people and tell you what a shitty person you are. I don't need that. I don't need anyone to feel how bad you are or anyone else is. That's not why we're here. It's weird because I said this was happening a month ago. Do you remember? I said that the 2 steps forward are done and now we're in wait 15 minutes and the only result from that is going to be a cannibalization of truth, of the group. That the group is going to start to cannibalize itself, basically. And it has. And I don't mind. I don't mind that either. Milburn, I am, buddy. And you are hard. Man, you are hard. You can want it. I can tell you do. Milburn is asking me if I can meet him behind the building after the show, guys. Milburn Stone's like, man, can I? Hey James, I'm Milburn. Can I put your balls in my mouth? I'd really like that. I would like that so much. And if you wait, we will do that, Milburn. We will get that going. Ask going. Yeah. Guys, I know you're going to need to call me gay. I know you're going to need to call me a fraud. I know you're going to need to call me a witch. I know you're going to need to call me whatever. It's okay. You're making me stronger. You're giving me the posture that makes it better. I'm sincerely sorry for getting emotional. Well, good, Rose. Good. I think that you should be. I think that the 3 comments you left on the Telegram, which is still up, by the way. So if you're feeling sorry, Rose, maybe you could delete the fraud stuff that you posted on the Telegram group, or not. It doesn't really matter. But I'm not going to be able to help either you or Crow at all while you're throwing giant flaming bags of shit, because that's what you're doing, and it's not going to work. Rose has said she's having her own event for free nearby, I guess out of spite, and I hope that those 2 events will now converge and we will have a good time. I don't know what else to do, guys, except for just to tell you what's happening. So if we get this cleared up, I hope we will. As I said, I always considered Rose a friend, but there's no fucking way that I can deal with this kind of behavior. I can't. A methed out fucking raccoon has been acting more mature than this, and it's got to stop. I was asking Crow if he could make it stop, and he can't. He can't control Rose. And I think that there's a lesson there because Crow is captain of his ship. And if he can't be responsible for his crew speaking in his name, that's his problem, not mine. And I'll do whatever I can to smooth this out, to fix it. But honestly, even me having to bring this up right now is really shitty, Rose. The fact that you're making me even bring this up right now is really shitty. You're spoiling the very first time I've announced the event. And that's vandalism. And I don't like it. And I'm kind of glad you're not going to be in the show. And I don't want Crow there. Because what we're doing requires trust. Requires a different kind of relationship. It's not going to cut it that old way. That old way is how we got here. We have to do something different. We just have to. So, If you can prove whoever bought your magic plane ticket, Rose, you should put their name on the board. And if they did, it seems like they should be contacting me, not yours. So, anyway, let's see if we can move on. Or should we move on? Let's see if there are any questions. Hello, James. Hail the man who stands strong as a hero. May the accuser be the only lower. May it be true because it rhymes. Yes. And I'm faltering because I don't think Rose should be in here right now. Rose has made it clear to post on the Crow 777 groups, the Telegram groups. She was proud that she got Owen to mention me. She's gotten people to unsubscribe, and now she's in the chat vandalizing my show. And she's supposed to be my friend. And I'm doing the best I can to handle it, but it's not working. I feel it in my chest. And as part of the alchemization of coming through, it's part of actually bearing the fire of Lucifer. You're just like, holy fuck, dude. Can I really handle this dude typing how gay I am? Can I really handle doing this or doing that or whatever? So, James, could you please go back to the beginning of the Rockfin chat? There's a message from Paul Joseph Watson. I get the feeling that's probably not actually him. But if you can retype the question, I can't. It's not letting me scroll up because if you retype the question, I will. This is hardcore. Yes, it is. Egotards lurk everywhere. Yeah, although I like ego. She isn't vandalizing it, James. It will be okay. Okay, good comment. How was Crow 777 Radio sponsoring the event? Listening that implies his involvement. No. So because the person that writes the emails for Crow 777 Radio said yes, release those tickets, and then was like, how many have you sold? That's why we were both selling those tickets. And when the change happened, it was quite abrupt. James need a full body massage performed by a female warlock called Jetty. Oh, well, thank you, Jetty. Own it all. It's expensive words, but they are spoken. Yes, Baba. Trust goes both ways, brother. You know, Andrew, I don't think that actually trust should... This is actually part of why I was like, I'm not going to actually go for the whole... I was actually told, well, Crow's word is his bond. And that's fine. But I don't want to put you on the poster if you're not writing down that you're coming. I don't. I'm never going to do that. I would never do that. And it's funny because I'm actually being accused of fraud because I did not put his name on the poster. So again, as soon as we found this out, I removed it. Everything's all good. We are having our own. Oh, Benjamin needs to just pay his $100 debt and get a new, it's, we need those people though. We need those people, Raisin. I did a high magic about this. We were talking about the bears and I literally stopped the show and I was like, we have to back up. And I did this whole thing on the compassion for the bears and it was legit. It was legit. And the same thing is expected for Rose. The same thing is expected for Crow. Rose wronged me hard. Not only did she wrong me hard, but Crow let her go. Crow let her speak for him. And if you really want to know who's Rose was mad at, she's mad at Crow. But she can't tell Crow that. Crow literally let her just say and speak for him since August. Since August. He was letting her speak, giving her the authority. And he pulled it at the last minute. And when he pulled it, it was very trite. It was very brief. And so I get that we want to say so I'm the one paying for it by her talking shit about me. But actually it should be Crow. Crow's the one that needs to pull her aside and say, Rose, I fucking failed you. As captain of this ship, because I'm always distracted and Crow is always distracted, I wasn't paying attention. I was just telling you yes, just to get you off my back. And now I'm actually being expected to be responsible for things. And I want to say no. That's what happened. And Rose can't get mad at Crow because Rose needs Crow to survive. So Rose had to make a choice. Do I cut bait with James or do I cut bait with Crow? And I think she made the right call. I think it's important to do that. And I think that Crow really needs to wake up. He's lazy on his cockpit. And until he starts to pay attention, he's not going to own it. He's always going to think that, well, that doesn't, he literally told me, this doesn't count that Rose said this because I feel this way. Those were his words. But in a court of law, it won't be that way.
And no, I'm not trying to imply. I'm just saying that this is getting out of hand. The fraud cases will not end. The posts will not end. They won't. And so all I can do is just record them. And any mediator will tell you, Crow, is she on your payroll? Yes. Crow, is she responding to people with your email? Yes. Then you're responsible for what she says. You don't get to say it's James's fault. And she doesn't get to try and appease you by going out and burning my name. I have to make that expensive in some way. Rose sold 8 tickets to people under the auspice and told them personally, you will get to personally meet Crow if you buy a ticket. 6 of those people I've given refunds to. And the refunds I gave them, I don't actually know if they come to our event, if they wouldn't get a chance to meet Crow. I am like a few miles from Crow's house now. I literally have to drive to Crow's house in his neighborhood to put on this festival because of the bullshit that I'm going through right now. And it's all because of the failure of the captain. And it's weird because Rose is the one out here playing damage control. Oh God, I'm so sorry. But that should be Crow. Crow's the one that needs to be out saying, hey, let me fix this right now. All right, everybody, I'm going to fix this right now. Okay, listen, I wasn't on the fucking bridge. I wasn't paying attention. I got to admit, I've been really distracted lately. And when Rose came on and started saying this, I just said, okay. And I said, okay, and okay, and okay, and okay. And the whole time I didn't want to say okay, but I didn't have the electricity to say no. And so I waited till the moment came up where I could say no. Then I gave 5 arbitrary reasons why I wanted to say no. And the only person in the room who saw me was James. And he looked at me and he said, Crow, it's okay, man. I don't want you on the bill. I need a different kind of energy for this event. You can't be scared, Crow. And you can't. Crow literally said, this event sounds crazy. It's very James Truly. I don't like it. It's making me nervous. I heard you say the word sarcophagus. You can't be having a thing with a sarcophagus. So what are you, nuts? I don't want that at my show. That's not going to work. And it's nothing against Crow. It's not going to work. It wouldn't work at Bartari either. I wouldn't even bring it. Baratari, I'd bring something else. Be like beef jerky or something. Be different. Different folks, right? It's not that he doesn't even have a... Good to see you, D. It's not that Crow lacks a backbone. It's not. Guys, Crow's a Marine. My brother is a Marine. Same energy. And I just think some of you don't understand it. And that energy it's brutal, but subdued. And I mean brutal in a good way. But it's brutal yet subdued. It cannot survive in the normalcy of a social butterfly like Rose. It's not going to work. It's why he has Rose. But the PTSD is like, there's no fucking way I can deal with this. It requires a lot more responsibility when you're allowing someone to speak for you. It would freak me out. If you go on Twitter, Crow follows 0 people. And it's because of the exact same feelings. He cannot associate with people until he trusts them. There's nothing wrong with that. It's a turtle mentality, and it survives. It literally makes you survive. Right? So, are we done, or you guys still want to go? James, not angry, just disappointed. Not sure what that means. And I actually don't think we should have this world where whoever is not angry wins. I think that's just a psychopath Olympics. I want you guys to watch the amazing interviews that come on Crow. I want you to do that. I want you to watch Owen Benjamin. I want you to laugh. I want you to find whatever it is you want to do. I don't need you to be exclusive to me. I don't want you to be exclusive to me. I need you to prune my lips. Fuck, man. I say wrong shit all the time. So I need that from you, okay? So your loyalty is not respected around here. In fact, if you come into Airship, you'll see that we actually kind of make fun of it. So it's not going to work. 5/5/2023 is a huge day. It is the full flower It's the flower full moon on 5523. The flower full moon. Okay? Not only is that, but do you remember our new moon episodes where we explained that Venus returns in 52 years, Venus and the sun end up in the exact same spot where they were before, right? And it takes 52 years for that cycle to complete. It turns out that cycle ends on 5523. Actually ends there. And not only is that a full moon, not only is it the full flower moon, think Lotus, it's an eclipse too. So it's a flower full moon eclipse in Providence on the water, and we have a space. Not only do we have a space, but it's literally a beautiful, gorgeous spot. Not only that, but you're dealing with a person, me, who has been asked 6 times before to create some sort of event that utilizes the dilation rituals of several things, which I cannot tell you about right now. I want to, and I will tell you about more later, but I can't tell you about it right now. You have to wait. I'm grateful for that too, Derek. I will always be grateful for that. And if it turns out that they have to throw my videos away or remove them from the library or put them in the these people are bad pile or whatever, I'm still thankful. One of the most paranoid dudes I know, End of Days Radio. I think that's right. Fuck, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But that dude hates me now. And he was the very first person that had me on his show to talk. And it meant so much to me. I still love that guy. And Crow was definitely not the first. Definitely not. But he's definitely helped. He has. I think once he saw, hey, this people find it interesting, let's have him on. And so he does. And he should. He should continue to do that. It's not even what I do. So I think he does make good decisions, but I think it's just at a different hertz. So I hope that makes sense. So take it or leave it. Let's see. Anything else, James? I hope I can see your dragons one day. I hope you can too. If we get enough for the land, then we can do the dragons. We can, because those dragons take like 4 weeks to make. And we can't rent the land for 4 weeks. That's why we can't build a dragon there in 4 weeks. But man, if you guys come, you're going to like that. Yes. Thank you, Susie Lee. It was actually Freeman TV. One of the first people that did take a chance when everyone else was more like, well, let me wait and see if people like him. Freeman TV, Steve Mercer actually was his name. A wonderful guy named Steve Mercer reached out to me, wrote an email. And it lit me up. It was so great to hear that. I'm forever thankful for that. We'll always be thankful for Crow. I hope you guys realize that how hard it was for me even to say that. And at first, Jen, if she's watching, she'll tell you, I was actually trying to pussy out. I was like, no, let's cancel this. Let's get rid of this. Let's make Crow happy. We'll do anything we can to keep Crow there. That was my first initial take on this. I was on board with that. Let's do away with all 5 of these things, but let's get Crow there. And then I went in and I said, we're going to do all those things, but I need one thing from you, Crow. I need it in writing that you're coming. And I'm sorry to admit this, volunteers. I was a bitch, but I was like, I will drop the volunteers. We'll drop the Dow. We'll drop the schedule. We'll drop the set decorations. We'll drop the poster. Crow said he didn't like Thoth. We'll drop all that. But I need one thing from you, Crow. I need you to commit that you will be there in writing. And he said fucking no. And he didn't need to say yes. The only reason why I would have thought he meant yes was if I would have believed Rose. And I didn't believe Rose because I've been here before. And I don't play with fucktards anymore. I'm not calling Rose a fucktard, but I'm telling you that attitude where you're trying to plan something and you're accepting that the talent will not even commit, that is a fucktard attitude and it will not survive. That is what happened in California with that BB guy. The other guy, not Owen, the other guy, where we had an agreement and all of a sudden, because he could, he's like, this makes me nervous, I'm pulling out. And that's fine, but you cannot engage this much fuel on the airship and pull out. There's going to be consequences, and there are consequences for it right now. But this is going to happen. It's going to happen because I don't give a shit how many people come to the event. That might sound really weird, but the reason why I don't is because if nothing else, it is going to be the most epic patron party you've ever seen. People are going to be writing about this for years, about patron rewards. Going to be like, holy fuck, did you throw a giant phoenix party on the water with a new fire ceremony? Did you have a... Anyway, I can't tell you more. Oh, I wish I could tell you about this festival. I can't, though, because it's early bird tickets right now. It's early bird tickets right now. I'm going to really disagree with that. Someone says, James, you need a mentor. EW, that is the worst advice I've heard. I appreciate you, though. But, no, that would be the last thing you could do. Someone actually typed this the other day. They were like, show me how to be sovereign. And so I said, step 1, psych. Like, dude, you can't, are you serious? I think he was joking. Actually, I don't think he was. And most people work that way. Why? Because, and people in the chat, you saw who the bitches were. When Rose came into our chat and started, it was like 40 messages about how evil I was because she was mad. The thing that made me mad wasn't Rose, because I was like, good, let her say what she wants to say. What made me mad was some of our members that I'm supposed to have more respect for were like, oh, I don't like it when you guys disagree. Can't we all just get along? And that's really gross. That's the most disrespectful thing you could say to Rose or me. Because literally what you're saying is, hey, instead of being authentic, can you guys just shut up and just pretend like you get along? Because that's how we build community. Like they're literally arguing, this is how we build community. And these people have been to dojo because they don't understand the importance of allowing that authenticity to flow. And the more you practice it, the more you can watch it flow. I wish you could attend too, Heath. That would be awesome to see you. Patrick Hollywood, please inform me how I'm being mean to Rose. Is it the fucktard attitude? Is that it? Because that is a fucktard attitude. And do you know why Rose calls me when she's in trouble? Hey, Patrick, does Rose call you when she's in trouble? Do you think there's a reason why she chooses me when she's in trouble? She doesn't call Crow when the shit's down. She doesn't. When she's completely broken down and freaking out, she calls me. Do you know why? Because of my authenticity. And people like you are making it harder for me to do. Okay, good. Thank you, Patrick. I'm a little bit sensitive right now, and I thought you were talking about me. Because that is me actually showing love. I'm showing love right now. I wrote Crow before this saying, can you please remove these things from the Telegram? And his response is to say, I don't see how this is hurting you. And it is. It is. It's making me stronger, and I don't have a choice. That's how it's hurting me. Sorry, Patrick. Thank you for printing my lips. I appreciate that. If you'd taken them down too, she must feel really silly right now. If she just would have taken it down, it would have been great. But it's okay because this is a lesson too. This is kiddie pool drama. You're right, Sterling. Oh God, I already feel bad. I fucking love this guy. And he put it on a super chat, so I definitely got to read it. Oh, Sterling, I'm afraid what you're gonna tell. Sterling's gonna bitch slap me. Here we go. This is kiddie pool drama and is very low vibration. You're right. I want to see better posture to feed my addiction. You're right. James, you have to set the bar high. I'm so glad to see the levels up. Thank you, Sterling. You see what Sterling did? Do you guys think Sterling was being mean to me? First of all, I get it. Well, how could he be mean if he's giving you $19.99? So thank you for that. But put that aside a sec. This is what we need. This is what we need. This is great because somebody had asked me, hey, James, should you delete that out of the chat? And it was a good question. And I literally said, that's Sark's chat. And if Sark feels that it should be deleted, he'll delete it. But my guess is that he won't. My guess is that Sark will say, this should definitely stay. And it's for the same reason why I was given such a hard time for whoever the fucktard was in there saying, oh, you guys, can't we just get along? And sorry, because whoever that was actually a nice guy. Oh, God, I feel bad. Now I feel bad for him. Oh, he wasn't a fucktard. None of y'all are fucktards. I'm the fucktard for saying that. There you go. But I really hate that stuff. I really do. It's why we have dojo. You cannot have that where we're literally punishing people because they're not behaving politely. You are never going to have a tribe vibe. You're never going to have anything when you're doing that. It's not going to fucking work, man. It's not. They're removed from Telegram. Thank you, Adrian. That is great to hear. That is great to hear. Rose is using you as an emotional tampon. What she's doing, David, is she's mad at Crow. And she's doing something. She's showing the respect. This is going to sound so fucked, guys. This is actually higher love. Oh, God. Rose is so mad. Probably if she was to hear me say this, she would get so mad because she's mad. She doesn't want to hear about James's higher fucking love, right? But it's true. I swear it's true. Guys, when you have enough electricity, this is what being a parent is. And no, my relationship with Rose is nothing even close to that. It just happens to be that in order for me to explain this, I'm going to use the parent. But you have this with your friends all the time. But when you love someone that has less electricity than you at a certain moment, you are fine with them using you as a avenue to distribute their anger. You should only be fine with it if you're permeable. You should never do this when you're vulnerable. But when you're permeable, it's okay. And here's the huge compliment. Can you guys see that Rose was actually showing me that she trusted me the most by making me take the fall for this? Does anybody see that? Can anybody understand that when you get so angry and you want to lash out, that you can only do that to someone that you trust would not lash back? Does that make sense? Yep, thank you, Christy. This is a very important point. I hope you guys are getting it. The reason why it's important is because they are calling you. These people are calling you. Rose is saying, I do not have a relationship with Crow where he will ever say, holy fuck, Rose, I really fucked you hard on this. I can't believe this. She doesn't have that relationship with him. Do you know who she has that relationship with? Me. Me. And she knows if she wants to go out and yell at this and do that, that the only person she could not pull this on Owen Benjamin. She could not do that. He would throw her to the bears in a second and they'd tear her the fuck apart. She can't do this to Crow because he's her boss. It's a different kind of relationship. She does this with the person she calls when she needs someone the most. That's who she chooses to do that to. And so she chose me. You guys may have noticed that I have a lot. Yes, thank you, Heath. She knows I can handle it. And I sometimes I can't. Sometimes I can't handle it. And I feel like shit when I can't. I feel awful when I can't. So the whole feeling of when you used to feel awful because someone calls you a name is completely replaced by, I wish I could have handled that more. I wish I could have been more permeable when that was happening, is what it is. Yes, it's because she feels the most comfortable with me. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. You're right, EW. She is stuck between those two. She is, and it's hard. Love James being James. Watching you go through things like this helps me more than you know. Thank you. Well, thank you, Gwen, because I was embarrassed like this. I was embarrassed. I was like, I was talking to my friend Jen. I was just like, Jen, we're trying to do this festival. It's the first time we've ever done this. We're finally doing it. And look at all these fires. And I didn't get a chance to prepare a show today because I was trying to deal with this giant fucking dumpster fire of liquid diarrhea that's been thrown on me and set on fire, or thrown on my building and set on fire. That's all I've done today. I haven't been able to prep for the show. I've been prepping for how do I damage control this fucking bullshit that happened. But I want you to know what happened. You have to know what happened because everyone else knows. Everyone else knows a very specific story. And this is the only chance I have in the audience that we have to ever even try and explain. So that's what happened. And it's not done yet. I'm told if I don't have money to them by a certain hour today, that the other fraud thing will infure, all this other stuff will happen. And that's the thing. One of the parts about being me is I actually don't have that money. Guys, I wrote a book last month. I missed live stream for 3 solid weeks. Patrons kept my lights on, but I don't just have $900 to give back to Crow because he put a deposit down on a facility that we cannot get our deposit back on. We can't. It says in the contract. This is one of the things I brought up when I said, is Crow on board? Look at the contract, Rose. It says we cannot cancel. And now they are demanding I pay them money for that, which is a fine demand, but I don't fucking have it because when people buy tickets, it goes to Stripe, the payment network. It does not go to James True. There's not a fucking elf out on the shelf going, here's money. It doesn't fucking happen that way. I have to wait for Stripe to process that money. So even the demands that they're saying that I send the money back right away to something else is not even something I could pull off. And I thank God, because you know what saved my life this month is people insisting that I show money to prove loyalty to something. It's happened 3 times in a row now. Boom, boom, boom. And I love it because it shed people that did not serve the purposes of this airship. And it shed them automatically simply because I didn't have enough cash to make them fucking happy. That money is for the show. I don't get to pull that money out and just randomly throw it at Crow. It's not my fucking money. It's the money for 5523. And we have a very large tribe of people that have already been finding ways to spend it the most effectively to make one of the most amazing things you will ever see on 55. That's what's coming. And you know what? You're not going to see a fucking bear there. And now you're not going to see a crow there. And the people that are coming to my channel and saying, unsubscribe because of Crow, they're not going to be there. Which means you and I are free. You and I get to have this event without that bullshit there. You and I get to not be afraid of what people are going to fucking say if one of us happens to say the word sarcophagus. Or God forbid, Sark comes in and says the word Lucifer. We do not have to worry about that now. I don't think you guys understand how much we consecrated this ritual right now on 5523 by having this happen. And hold tight, because I am not convinced that Rose is secretly working in the underground to promote this show by creating all this drama in the first place to purposely cleanse us of all the bullshit hyena lickers that run rampant through the streets, insisting that the only way to fix the world is to rub our sins into a goat, whether it be man, whether it be machine, whether it be candidate in government, and push him off the cliff because now our problems are gone for 3 days. So I'm not convinced Rose hasn't been helping this entire time. That she knew James could not produce this event unless he severed his relationship with requiring Crow to be there. I did not say sever my relationship with Crow, although it could be severed now. I don't fucking care. But it wasn't severed when I was talking to Crow. And you know what? Crow didn't let Rose in the room for that call. After 5 months of planning, Crow calls me with Jason and it's just us 3 guys and he left fucking Rose out in the hallway. But please, let's continue to talk about how I'm the shitbag who didn't treat Rose right. Let's make sure we put that in the fucking comments. Because what should have happened is you fix your fucking airship. And the first thing you do as captain is say, I fucking failed you, Rose. And James, whatever it is, I don't need you to instantly send money over because I fucked up. And I'm trying to blame Rose. And I'm going to stop now, James. Because I'm captain of my ship. And that's the difference between me and Owen. And it could be the difference between me and Crow. It's a different way of seeing the world. It's a different way of processing all of this. And if you come, you will see something very special. 5-5 is the day. No, I did not vomit slightly, Jedi. But I'd be lying to tell you that I don't feel this energy in my chest. And it is part of a requirement that is now upon me to keep this posture. Because when someone writes me and says, you saved my life, and when someone writes me and says, you fraudulent, narcissistic, sick motherfucking bastard, neither of those are me. Neither. And the more I learn this, the more Lucifer I become. It's so fucked up. I know. Some of you are embarrassed to be listening to the show. Some of you are like underscore, and you're like, can you just please stop saying Lucifer? You can talk about whatever you want, James. Just stop saying that word. I get it. I get it. Yeah, EW. Okay, good. Apologies to anyone in chat again that I know Patrick and I are already good. Fist bump. Is that on? Here's the link that. Okay. After that beautiful motivational speech, if you want, after that beautiful motivational speech, if you want to join the volunteers over here at the Airship Prankster, this is the volunteership for these events. I've just posted a link, and that's where you sign up. And you're going to enter your email, and you're going to subscribe that email, and then you're going to wait. If you want to volunteer at the 5-5 event, we have 44 jobs available. And we are going to need every one of them. These are literally every one of these jobs we're going to need. So the more that sign up, the better. Some of you are going to ask, well, if I'm a volunteer, do I need a ticket? And because of all the other difficult things I'll say, I'll go ahead and answer this one because this is sometimes a hard thing to answer. This event is only allowed to have 250 people inside the hall. That's just the max there is. Children are still people. They literally count. And you, I know in math you'd think, well, you could stack them on top of each other. You can't. So one child and one adult is the same thing. So the max number we can have there is 250. It's just the most we can have. Okay. We've done our best to see if we can have staff or whatever, but that's just the max we can have. Okay. If you want to be a volunteer, you're going to need a ticket to volunteer, because if you cannot go into the main room, then you're not really volunteering, are you? So what that means is that you buy your ticket and you volunteer. Now, some of you may not get that. Some of you may be, that doesn't sound fair at all, but I just want to remind you of the math that if you actually require a ticket from us, you're not actually volunteering, you're trading work for your ticket. There are jobs on our volunteer board that are paid. There are, but not all 44 of them are. In fact, there's only like maybe a few, like at least 3, but actually I don't even want to be held at 3. There's a certain number that are paid, but unless you've been in the dojo a while, you probably haven't built up enough trust to get those jobs, is what I'm saying. These are pretty important positions that are not going to allow any kind of fucktard flaming poo bags to be distributed. When it's time for this event, the 44 that we have been rigorously gone through a boot camp, so we can have a smooth thing. So this is not really. This is part of the reason why I just could not satisfy the requirements from Crow that he not work with anyone else unless he knows them. This is too big for that. There's too many big things to do. So let me see if I can get this up here. So 5-5. That's the event. We're calling it a Thothful Gathering. This is Thoth on the screen. And you are going to get to meet Thoth. And it's going to dilate you in ways you've never known. This is produced by James True. And, sorry, this was on the other page, but not this one. Whoops. And a tribe of patrons. That's who's producing the event. Doesn't say Crow. Doesn't say Rose. Doesn't say anyone else. Just me. This means that if I do not promise you something, you should get your money back. That's literally what it means. I'm saying I'm responsible for what I'm promising you to deliver if you come to this event. The event is on 5/5, May 5th. It is in Rhode Island. It is in Providence. I did not list the city because Rhode Island is small. And if you can make it to Rhode Island, you can make it to Providence. is the Gathering of Thoth. It is Wednesday, May 5th, 2023, between the hours of 3 and 11 p.m. It is at a very, very nice facility called the Meehan Overlook. Meehan Overlook. They have some music if you can hear this. Meehan Overlook. It's on the water. They have a flag. Sometimes a drone flies over and doesn't hit the doors at Meehan. There's a trail at Meehan. See, it's a nice place. There's a lot of water. It's a catered event. You're going to be fed. Everyone is treated like a VIP. There's no way you cannot come here and have a good time at Meehan. Thank you. This is a VIP event. You should expect to be treated as if you were at a wedding reception. I'm not saying someone's getting married. However, if someone did get married, it would not surprise me at all. Okay. But you should expect as if you're coming to a wedding celebration. Okay. And so food, when I say food, I'm talking food. I'm talking food, man. I'm talking like food. It's like, you're going to have some of this, and we some of that, and some of this. And we actually have pretty amazing, I think we offered the job for our catering first tier volunteer to someone today. Looking forward to them saying yes. Another War Machine wants to know who's bringing the peyote. We have 4 rental houses. This is another reason why it's hard for me. We couldn't just cancel, even though Rose was actually originally telling us you have to cancel this event and never do it. And we can't do that because not only can we not get our deposit from this center, but we also have put deposits down on these houses where they're going to stay. So if some of you are here to volunteer, you may find that there's actually probably a bunk for you if you jump in quick enough and get in here and see. So, yes, we are smuggling goats over the border, I hope. If Thoth himself comes to be my pastor, I would tie the hitch only way. Okay, Adrian's going to marry Thoth. I love it. This is great. This is great. So that's, there's the venue. You've seen that. And there's the who, what, when, where. So you've seen that. And this is the 5 types of demons. This has nothing at all to do with our presentation, so I apologize for that. We'll get to that in a sec. Now, there's something else you need to know. Today is the new moon. And this photo's from the lovely Mared Moth from Scotland. She posted that she has been religiously lighting these new moon fires, keeping it alive. And I'm really excited to tell you about this because, as you know from that episode about the new moon fire, right, that every 52 years... I hope I'm handling this okay. Just going to take a little break. I hope I'm handling this okay. I'm literally just trying to be as authentic as I can with what happened. If I end up feeling like I badmouth someone too much, I'm going to really regret it. I just want you to know I will regret it. I don't like doing this. But Crow has a giant Telegram group. It's huge. And this thread about the 14,000 people in her law group is another thing. It's huge. Just listening to EW there. Anyway. I will pay as appropriate. And I will suffer only because of my own posture that didn't handle it. So, that's what new moon is today. Today. This is the time to set your intentions. This is the time to create new events. On 5/5, not only is it the full moon, not only is it the flower moon, not only is it an eclipse, it's also the 52-year return of Venus and the sun. And there's a very special day there. There's reasons why I can't tell you about it, but they are. and to commemorate this, we are going to have a new moon fire ceremony. The Aztec new moon fire ceremony, the one that occurs every 52 years, we are going to have. Some of you may not like the human sacrifice part of this ritual. So we're having a vote to see if we're even going to sacrifice someone. Keep in mind, we need a volunteer. It's not a sacrifice if we kill someone. We can't take a prisoner. It needs to be a volunteer. I know that the Aztecs were more lenient with that, but not us. So if there's a volunteer who doesn't mind, we will remove their heart from their ribcage, pull it up, show it to everyone beating, and put it back in. I've seen this done on YouTube. I'm pretty sure that it's actually not as hard as it looks. I know that there's a lot of you are like, well, that sounds really difficult. I think that guy's going to die. And I get it, but I've at least watched this video at least 14 times now. And it just doesn't look that hard. It really doesn't. So we will have that. We will have the new moon fire ceremony. We will have a lot of fire at this event. You should come. We are bringing back something that has been gone for a long time. Some of you who are not in our tribe have never participated in a new moon fire, and that's fine. Now's your chance. 3 years ago, we began Valerie Volunteers for Tribute. I fucking love it. All right, so we got Val. Great. That sounds good. So 3 years ago, when the eugenics war began, in order to build strength, I started telling people about a new moon fire, and people started going, this is good. This is some good magic. And it wasn't mine. It was Iroquois magic, or Cherokee and Iroquois magic, excuse me. It goes way back. And I'm telling you now because some of you are going to want to do the homework that I'm about to describe. When we do these new moon fires, we take the ashes from that fire and we share it with other new moon fires. We've been doing this for 3 years now. When you consider that the fire holds the salt, the information, all of those fires that occurred over the past 3 years in 5, 6, 7 different countries, seriously, just everywhere, all over, most of the United States is covered as far as distance-wise, Canada, Mexico, Scotland, England, Australia. We have freaking ashes from Australia. Right now, tonight, I do believe that Aaron might be having another Australian fire, and that these ashes are consecrated each time, and that those ashes are brought to this event on 5/5 and put into the 5/5 fire, the full flower moon eclipse fire, which means that all the fires that we've set for 3 years are combined into one. And this is an entry into this new world. Your ashes cannot just come from any campfire. They can't. There's nothing wrong with you collecting your ashes from any campfire. That's actually a cool thing. But I just need you to just bear with me for a sec, because this is new moon fire ashes, and we're putting them into a full moon fire. This is very important. We took all the new moon ashes we've been gathering. It's only been on the new moon, and we're putting all those ashes now into the full moon fire on 5/5. It's a very important magical thing if you think about what's happening. It's these portals. Remember the Aztec, you saw the Aztec stream, right? Where every 52 years, the entire world resets because that Venus return and the sun returns, that kind of thing. Exact same thing happening here. Your ashes will not count unless they've been consecrated 3 times. 3 times. Now, why, James? Why? Because here's why. Here's why. I got a question saying, how do we create a new moon fire ashes? And I wrote this down. I just want to share it with you real quick. Number 1, the new moon fire has many roles depending on who shows up. Since it's just you, you do everything. What does that mean? It means that technically there are 5 different positions inside new moon fire. I'm probably not going to remember all these, but sponsor, fire tender, cedar man, offering person, sweeper. Those are the 5 roles inside a Cherokee new moon fire. It's not just Cherokee. Each of those roles are separate things that you would want to do. First of all, why 3 fires? I want you to picture the land, your land, where you, let's say that you have some land and you want to have a symbolic connection. I'd like you to picture that land looking straight up, and it would see that you have a fire ring on the ground, that you've set several stones, and that it could see those stones placed on the ground. And when you build a fire, the soil sees the fire. It knows the fire. The energy signature is there, and it knows, oh, wow, in the backyard, Free Press 666 has started a new moon fire today. And when the land sees that, it's like, oh, that's nice. Oh, wow, what a coincidence. It's the new moon. And then the fire's gone, because he goes to bed or whatever, right? The land doesn't know yet. The land noticed there's a coincidence. Hey, there's a fire, it's new moon. But it doesn't actually know anything yet. Why? Because you actually haven't set a pace. You haven't set a rhythm yet. I said 3 fires. I think you could do this with 2. I really do. You could do it with 2. Especially if you've been listening to our show, you probably have some clearer intent where you can sort of like really, really push into something. Guys, we're going to have to take a quick little break here. I'm so sorry about this, but Enlightened Dawn over in Rockfin, he's going to repack his bong. So let's just take a quick break. Packing the bong. Enlightened Dawn is packing the bong. He's listening, but he's got to pack a bong. Enlightened Dawn, he's packing the bong. Yeah. Packing the bong. Packing the bong. Bong. Packing the bong. Okay, we're back. The reason why, you're good, right, Enlightened Dawn? The reason why there are 3 fires, or 2 fires, we're going to say 2 fires, is because first you told the land and it caught the coincidence, but now you don't build a fire in that spot. Don't do it until next full moon, right? Oh, thank you for that, Enlightened Dawn. I totally pictured a completely different image. In fact, I was picturing sort of a neckbeardy kind of vibe, only because it happened to be the screensaver on this. That's really the only reason why, just so you know. If you happen to notice during the BA, it had that. So I hope you enjoyed our little break while you packed the bong. The second fire is going to be on the next new moon. And you're not going to build any other fires in its place. But on the next new moon, you're going to come in, you're going to set the same fire. But there's one important thing. You're going to take the ashes out of your first new moon fire. The day after the fire, go collect some ashes. You can do it at night, but if you use glass, it's going to explode. You're going to be embarrassed. You're going to be like, I'm such a noob at this new moon fire ash stuff. I totally broke the glass. What happened? It got hot, put the ashes in there, and it broke. That's a noob move. Enjoy it. It's actually part of the initiation, but find a way to protect those ashes without burning yourself. Keep them, and then on the next new moon, light the fire normally. Take your ashes and just invoke intent. We'll get to that in a sec, but I just want to finish explaining why you need this, okay? The pulse of new moon, right, is going to be much harder for the soil, the land, to say it was just a coincidence. Now it's seen, holy jeez. Last time on new moon, he built a fire right here. And this time on new moon, he built a fire right here. Is this guy trying to activate the land? The land is literally asking that. The land is saying, is this person asking if it can be a white blood cell of the soil? Is this person saying, I am the living soil, and this new fire is consecrating and connecting me to the land, that you were literally associating with the land. You're associating with that fire by having this ritual. And you've done it twice now, so you've set a beat. Boom, boom, right? You've set a beat. Now, I want you to do it 3. Because if you do it 3, man, that fire knows. It has no question at all. It has 0 doubt as to what that meant, right? Third new moon, it's actually anticipating. For the first time, it's looking for you to see if you show up This is why it has to be 3. I'm revoking it. Oh, I'm sorry. I know I told you 2, but it has to be 3 because think about what the land's doing, okay? The first fire, the land's like, well, wait, I thought that person was unconscious, but they just lit a fire on new moon and they consecrated it. It's probably a fluke. They're probably like drunk on something or something, so I'll just wait. And then the next moon comes around. They're sitting there reading their paper, and they're smoking their pipe, and all of a sudden they're like, wait a minute. Is that guy building a fire up there? And sure enough, it is. Oh my God, honey, look. Look, Gaia, he's building a fire on the new moon. That's the second one. He's like, oh my, that's impressive. Do you think he means it? He's like, well, it sure looks like it does. He's like, well, I guess we'll have to wait until the third one to see if it's really true. And then the third one comes. The third one comes. And you set that third fire. You do it, don't you? You do it. And now the land knows. The land freaking knows. It's like, holy shit. This guy is ready. This guy is ready. And it recruits you. Your dreams change. Your entire follicle layout is revamped, and you become a living antenna of that spot. You are consecrated in that new moon fire, and now you are the living soil. That's what the new moon fires have always been about, people becoming the living soil. And when you collect those ashes, you now have the prana of that ritual that took you 90 days, maybe more, to activate. 90 days. And you bring those ashes and you share them with other people that have done the same thing among the tribe, and you have prana. You have intent. And I would like for you to picture what the land must feel like. It's there in Scotland, and every new moon, Sarah shows up. Usually she's on the shore near the ocean, but not always. And she shows up and she consecrates that land again. And not only does she consecrate it, but she opens the ceremony, she lights the fire, she gets the fire going. Once the fire's going, she consecrates it. This is the very first step. You consecrate. First step. How do you consecrate? You literally just call the ritual formally open. How do you do that? You have to say ancient Cherokee. No, you don't. You sound your intent. There are no magic words. You literally just say. The ritual is formally opened. The second thing you do is you call the elders to your fire. You cast the elders into the fire. You say, elders, I am ready to have your wisdom in our fire. And you take those ashes because those are the elders of the last fire. And in the last fire, they had the elders of the fire before it. And the elders of the fire before that were consecrated by an even older elder. So you have 3 generations of elders now that you're adding to that fourth fire. And you're doing that by pouring the ashes in. That's the second step. The third step, if you want to declare a purpose for the fire, you do so by invoking it. You can say this audibly, you can do it symbolically, it really doesn't matter, but it's your opportunity. If you want to charge a fire with a certain word, or a certain action, or a certain thought, or a certain plasma, or a certain memory, or nothing at all, you do that. This is the role of sponsor, by the way. Typically, the sponsor would choose this role. What is the fire symbolically representing? Sometimes it's healing. Many in the Cherokee would invoke, instead of saying, oh, we have to go to the doctor and get some pills, instead they say, oh, we have to have a fire. What do you mean we have to have a fire? Well, we have to have a new moon fire. I'm going to heal my son. How are you going to heal your son? I'm going to call for a new moon fire. And as sponsor, I'm going to pay whatever it takes to get the right medicine man there, to get this there, to provide the supplies, right? The traveler, whatever it takes to invoke people coming here because I'm sponsoring this fire and I need people here. I need their medicine. And by needing their medicine, you're calling for the fire to occur, and so it does. You call it into being, and so it does. And we've changed that. We've flipped it all and said, no, it's all about the placebo now, but it's the same kind of energy. You consecrate it if you want. Some of you remember the very first new moon fire I did was consecrated on vitriol. And boy, did that work. I mean, that really worked. Ask Amanda Vollmer. That really, really worked. So the next step is the ritual is formally closed. Close your ritual out. This could be the next morning sometimes. It's really going to depend on you as the sponsor, what you're doing, how it's working out. But you close that ritual out, and you do that by collecting those ashes for the next time. One sample is sent to the tribe to be added to the tribal batch. One is kept by your local chief, which is you, and ready for the next fire. That's how you do it. What is this local chief? Most of the time when this happens, people write and they're like, James, I want to start a new moon fire, but I don't know anyone in my area. What should I do? And my answer is, well, you should start a new moon fire. It's like, but James, okay, that's hilarious, Green Mount Girl. That's hilarious. I'm not going to say it out loud, but that's funny. The first thing you I forgot what I was talking about. That was so funny. Crap, I gotta stop watching you guys when you say stuff like that. Man, it was actually really kind of important. So you might even know what I just said before Amanda Voldemort. Man, that really just took me right off. Well done. Well done, Green Mountain Girl. Well done. New and fire with no... Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you, algorithm. I owe you big. I owe you big, algorithm. Yes. New and fire with no people in your area. This is the, I know I said it out loud anyway. Oh God, I'm really bad at this. I know. New and fire. Okay. So your first inclination typically is, but James, I'm alone. How do I do this alone? And you're like, dude, you're not alone. You're chief. Don't you get it? The reason why no one's around is because you're the chief. And you have to build the fire alone. You guys think that I've never built a new moon fire alone? Do you think that I only did it because I had a live stream because of this? No. I've been building these new moon fires since I was a counselor at a wilderness camp. The same wilderness camp we're trying to start, by the way, but that's a whole other story. I climbed Siler's Bald. I threw my dress blue Navy uniform into the fire on a new moon. I was reading about this ritual. I found it fascinating. I burned that uniform because I knew that I did not belong to the military. It was after the Iraq War. I was now a decorated veteran. And what does the decorated veteran do? He burns his uniform because he knows it doesn't matter. He knows that what it stood for is not true. And I did that alone. No one was there. And you will do it alone too. And you will do it alone once. You may do it alone twice. You may do it alone 3 times. But I swear to you, it has never failed. Someone will appear. Someone will appear. They will do that because you invoked the vortex of being alone and you built a fire anyway. You stared the adversity in the face and you said, I'm sorry, I cannot meet those demands. I'm going to have the festival alone. That's what 5-5 is. It was me telling them, I'm sorry. I have to be chief of this. You're not satisfying the criteria I need to make this happen, so I need to do the fire alone. And people freak the fuck out when they see you do that. Rose said I was insane to think that I would ever be able to pull this off. Those were her exact words. That you do not have a modicum of a chance of ever pulling this off, James. You are fucking insane. Literally her exact words. And this is why I think Rose is secretly working on my side. It's like she fucking had this dream and she was like, I need to light a fire under James. I need to tell him that there's not a modicum's chance in fucking hell, James, that you will ever pull this off. That's what Crow 777 said to me. And that's why I'm going to do it. That's why I'm going to do it. It's exactly the energy that I want in this fire. I want that impossibility. I want all this press that it's generating. I love that there are people from other channels that are like waiting to see me or hopefully trying to see me spiral out, whatever it is. I want that energy in this. This is a very important event. This event will not occur anymore because I'm not going to live to be 104 in this 52-year loop. This is my only chance to catch this one. And it's got Venus in it. It's got a full Not just a full moon, but a full flower moon, which if you read my latest book, you'd be like going, holy shit, James, are you talking about like a lotus full moon? I'm like, yeah, man, I'm talking about a lotus full moon. And you're like, James, you mean the lotus full moon that you're going to do at the Egyptian Thoth thing? I'm like, yeah, man. Like, James, do you understand that the entire ritual that was defined by Egypt is now being invoked in your life and you had nothing to do with it? And the only reason why it worked is because someone named Rose told you there's not a modicum's fucking chance in hell, James, that you will pull this off? And the answer is yes. That's how it works. You need this strife to pull off the magic. It doesn't happen without the strife. You might think it does. You might think that success is the man that has smooth trails the whole time. And that's never, ever been the case. Not once. Not once. So this will be a beautiful experience. And it will not be pulled off by me. It will be pulled off by a tribe of patrons that are interested in doing something like this. And I think we'll do more. I think we'll do this one, and we'll find that we really want to do a Halloween one. And that Halloween one we want to build a dragon at. But we can't build a dragon unless this one's off the hook. If this one's off the hook, we'll be able to rent the place to do our dragon one in October, like a Halloween dragon, because we'll be able to rent it for like a week or two, right? We'll be able to have that time necessary to do the right landscaping. I have 11 people on my landscaping committee. I need slots for all 11 of you. Okay? So just remember that. Yes, it's in Providence. And I think Rose will be there. I do. I think that after several months, I thought after a few hours she might come. No. And after a few days, no. But I think there's a chance she might even be here. I don't think that you could tell her that now. I think it'd make her mad to hear that. But I think she'll actually be there. And it's ironically, I think Crow will probably show up too. I do. Maybe not after all the slander stuff, maybe. But when I left the room with Crow, I felt pretty good he probably would be there. I felt pretty good he'd probably be there, and I absolutely knew that there's no way I was going to put him on the poster. I thought both those things. So, how's this going to be? How's this going to go down? Well, the very first thing we have to do, we just don't have a choice. We have to buy ticket. We have to sell tickets. There's just a lot to pay for. The food is part of that too. There's just a lot. And if you want to buy a ticket, we are having early bird tickets right now. They are not going to be here for long. Before this stream, I think there were 12 left. Now, I might change that number available. I don't know yet because all this changed right after this Crow thing happened. I've had to rethink the entire thing. So I don't know exactly where it's going to be at, but I've just posted the links to get those tickets. Right now, tickets are $77.77. That's how much they are to start. And again, this is a catered event. It is a 9-hour event to be on the grounds. It gives you access to the property, to the water. There's a kids playground next door. Should be a kid-friendly event. There's plenty of lodging opportunities. Check with the tribe. You might even find that there's a bed already waiting for you. What if I have no tribe to send ashes to? Well, what are we, Anna? What are we, chopped liver? Are we chopped liver over here? Is that what's going on? Because you could enter the Telegram group, you could put in the chat, you could do all kinds of those things. So, yeah, you should join us. Exactly, Shitmoth. As Medmoth says, you have tribe here, Anna, and that if you like the taste of our ashes, it is a good chance to interact with us, right? Oh, see, now everyone's talking to Anna. There you go. So if you can't make it to this one, most of us have not been able. Most of us that have exchanged ashes actually haven't met. Just so you know, it's the same. They just mail it. We feel like we know each other, right? So those are the tickets. The poster will change. This is a tier 1 poster. What you're looking at on that link that I just sent. This is just what it looks like right now. And as we incorporate more things, then more will be added. Panel discussions include, what am I talking about? How do I explain this to you? First of all, the first 50% off is the sale right now. But there are three, I don't know if it's going to let me do that. Let's see. I'm trying to fix that where is it going to let me show you the whole screen? There you go. An evening of Thoth and friends on the flower full moon penumbral lunar eclipse at the Overlook of Meehan, North Providence, Rhode Island on 5/5/2023. VIP catered event. Curated by James True. We're going to have a minimum of 3 panel discussions. These panel discussions include, number 1, unanimous governance. Yep, unanimous governance is going to be the topic of one of our panels. And that's going to touch on wampum and the ledger consent under the Iroquois Confederacy. I'm actually going to just briefly introduce the idea that the Iroquois Confederacy had blockchain. I know, it's weird, right? But they actually had a ledger blockchain system in place long before America was even formed as a country. But they were running something called unanimous governance. It's very different than the government we have now. It's a very slow government when you're running from unanimous governance. And I'd like to, most of what we hear on the True channels now is just, oh, they're evil, or oh, they're bad, or oh, this system sucks. That's what 5/5 is the antithesis of that. It's literally having discussions. It's a thoughtful, get it? Thoughtful. It's a thoughtful gathering of thinkers. And one of the many topics will be this idea of unanimous governance. We're going to talk about that model. I'm going to introduce to you some governance models that you may or may not have heard of, one of which is some privacy tokens. I'm purposely trying to be vague because we're looking to get speakers right now for these things. And another one is a project called Quartal. And but this is not the center. I don't know how the panel is going to go. I'm just telling you that I'm calling a circle, and that circle is called Unanimous Governance. And I'm going to lead and spur on a panel Q&A, kind of live fisticuff style, where we're sort of freeballing it in an open mic atmosphere, where we discuss these principles of unanimous governance. That's panel 1. Panel 2 is Temple of Man. We're literally going to just really quickly describe all the different versions of souls defined by different people. We're going to focus mainly on the Egyptian model because most of the other people stole their models of the soul from Egypt. So we just kill a lot of birds, a lot of ibis with one stone. There's a joke there. Deep joke. I just dropped a deep joke. But we will kill more than one ibis with the stone if we just talk about the Egyptian model. And here's the biggie. Discuss how technology has changed our definition of the soul. You could not get more scary. Oh my God, he's going to talk about machines and stuff. And it's like, yeah, exactly. That's why we can't have the others here. We can't have the blame bullshit. No flaming poos here. We have things to talk about. That's my second one that I think will be interesting. But again, it's going to depend on who's there, who our panel guests are. I'm definitely going to be getting some panel guests in here. I just need some time. And the reason why the tickets are 50% off is because you buying tickets now before knowing the panel guest is you putting faith that you think this sounds like this could be a really cool event, right? The third panel I'm doing is a better theory of reality. We have not re-looked at our definition of what we call reality, and we need to. It's very important. And I hope to be touching on the simulacrum, how ancient mythology ties in today. What reality actually is very different than what we thought it was 30 years ago. Is profoundly different. One of those things that made it so different was the ATM machine. And we're going to discuss that. Now, these are just 3 panels, and I need you to know how this is going to work. On this ground, it's actually Thoth is going to invoke these circles. And I think that on site, people are going to have enough courage to come up to me or to Thoth or to the table and say, I have a topic I want to talk about. And that if they feel that power, they're going to call on the power of Thoth to invoke a thought circle. And their topic is announced by Thoth, where people can gather and participate in this spontaneous panel. And these are all done in, like, if you picture like 7 different circles where you would sit. There's not like this bullshit centralized, oh, there's a speaker and all of us are going to listen. You guys are sovereign, right? Having these festivals where you listen to one fucking dude is not cut out for Aquarius, right? You need something different, which is why these are thoughtful gatherings. You spin it up. And I've personally challenged a lot of our wise thinkers that are in this very chat. When I say a lot, I really literally mean one right now. But it's like I've I've challenged these thinkers to say, hey, I think you should do a topic. I think you should invoke that power because you say brilliant things and you should bring this magic too. And you're going to see that at 5-5. Huge change here. When Rose was playing this festival, Rose wanted to have like 30 tickets that were free and that we were going to give those to all of the big names to convince them to come. And I hated that model instantly. I hated it because we were saying that there were people that deserved to be treated differently than everyone else. And I don't think that's sovereign at all. And one of the things that made me the most happy about Rose dropping out of this was that no one gets a free ticket anymore. That even though David Avocado Wolf is someone that we like, I don't understand why we need to give him a free ticket. If he wants to come to this event and participate, he should be sovereign like everyone else. If not, why are we feeding him for free? It doesn't make any sense. Not to mention that most of the headliners actually have they're doing great. They don't need free food. They don't need a free ticket. They're actually the one, if anyone should be paying for a ticket, it should be them. I do not think that David Avocado Wolf will come. I don't know him personally. I'm just trying to say Rose does. I don't have those contacts, and it's clear that we've lost the ability to access Rose for things for this event, so please don't expect anyone like that. But I need you to know that fucking James True bought a ticket. In fact, it gave me a lot of shit because my website was thinking I was committing fraud because I'm the dude that owns the website, and I had to use an old credit card to even get that to come through because my website thought that I was trying to cheat myself. It's like, why are you sending yourself money? And I was like, because I'm in the tribe and I have to buy a ticket. I have bought a ticket too. The very person that's setting a new moon fire tonight paid for 2 miracle tickets. He literally said, I can't be there, James, but I love this event. Can I buy tickets for someone else? And yes, you can. Those are called miracle tickets. We have that. I already know who I want to give it to. One of our members of the tribe purposely does not utilize money. He stays out of this system as much as possible, but he's been at every new moon fire when we were trying to consecrate things, and I want him to have one of those free tickets for this. He's just earned it. If you want to buy one of these miracle tickets, I need you to know that it will be greatly valued because of our volunteers. All the miracle tickets that we have are distributed to the volunteers based on an arbitrary sense of system that we will develop as a tribe later. I can't give you the criteria. This is not a formal scholarship. But the 44 different positions that we have will be utilized by this system. Holy shit, is it 7:30? 5:30, 6:30. I have to go. There is an airship waiting. Oh, geez. So all of these volunteers are actually currently waiting right now. I should have ended this 30 minutes ago. I got so distracted by everything. There is a Google Drive that explains so much more about this, but you can't have access to that Google Drive until you're actually ready to go. Until you have that. In fact, I'm going to real quick delete these last names so I can show you this. I really have to go, though. These are the jobs that we need just for this event. And I've broken them down by chairs. Let me see. I hope I can fix this. This is a little bit wider. There we go. I've broken this. We're a symphony, and all the volunteer jobs are here. And so I am nominating James True as production first chair. And our own Jen is second chair. She's really the first chair. She's kicking so much ass, but I'm going to be first chair for reasons we can talk about later. Susan is our third chair. We have 2 more positions in production. We need 3 quartermasters for this event. Yes, 3. The quartermaster, I got to go, so I'm not going to read these jobs, but I just want you to see. We have 3 volunteer coordinators. Their job is to manage the volunteers. The volunteers need a lot of management. They need to be fed properly. They need transportation. They need a bed to stay in, all those things. So it's all part of it. We have 7 positions at the gate, believe it or not. 7 positions at the gate. Kind of important. We'll explain why we have 7 later. It's sort of a secret. We have 4 transport positions. Most of those are just parking maintenance, but we do need a driver. We're gonna be like, dude, can you go get us 17 azaleas? And he's gonna be like, did you say azalea? And we're like, yeah, man, we need 17 azaleas. And he's gonna be like, well, what is an azalea? I'm like, Google it, dude, figure it out. And then he'll go off and he'll be driving through New Jersey or Rhode Island going, where do I get azaleas? And this is how it goes. It's a lot of fun. We have 9 people on the set committee. The set is a double entendre because of Set, the Egyptian god. We have 4 people on our catering position. We are actually paying a professional license company to cater the main event because we want everyone to be focused. But the volunteers need their own catering in our after party. So being a volunteer definitely has some serious perks. There are 4 security positions. We need bouncers. We're going to have people come in that like, well, I'm mad at you because you took away my victimhood. So we have that. And then we have 4 media positions because we want to record everything. We have a lot more positions, but they're actually underground secret positions that I don't list on here because they involve special things. Hey, my aunt's here. Hi, Sue. I'm going to have Thanksgiving with my aunt tomorrow. Looking forward to it. Okay, we're going to go. Guys, if hopefully people are in the airship, I've totally kept them all waiting. Hopefully they'll be there, but I can explain more. We can talk about Rose if you need to, but hopefully we can just move on and get this thing going. Rose, I love your heart. I know you're mad, and you should be, and I think you're mad at the wrong person. And I hope that you noticed that I was the only fucking person out of Owen, out of your audience, out of Crow, out of Jason. I was the only fucking person that said Rose was wronged, that Crow owes Rose an apology. I was the only fucking one who noticed that. And this is why I'm the Lucifer. I love you guys. I will see you after the outro. _ I'm sorry I ran you off. I miss you because I'd love to hear you bitch about this outro. Take care, guys. 5-5. Come, please. Buy a ticket. Come on. Buy a ticket. Come on. Help make this special. Come on. Hail Rose that was wronged. Love you guys. gotta take it. Come on. Come on, just come. It'll be fun. Come on. Come on. 52.